Hey, this is Street Shaman here. Today we're going to be abusing reverbs and convolutions. First, we're going to start with the reverbs. Obviously, we all know what they do. They make the sound feel like it's in a room. But today we're going to be doing more than just reverb. So I have a patch over here, and I'm just going to go play it one by one. Yeah, so that sample is a lot of fun, but what today's video is about is abusing the reverb. So over here I have a rack where I have a reverb utility, 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 reverb utility. I have a whole bunch of them here, and I am going to start showing you kind of like what each one does. So we're going to turn it on first. And we're just going to go ahead and click on one, shift, go to the end, and turn them all off. So this is what one of them does. And we're going to slowly add each one as they come in. And you're going to kind of hear what happens. Nice reverb. Do you hear the extra layer? There we go. Here goes the last one. Up to dry wet. See, that's our reverb now. I'm gonna dial it back down. And let's turn this off and turn it back on. You kind of hear a little bit more if I turn them all on and off. Yeah, so it has like this weird metallic feel to them. And I discovered this through Mr. Bill in he was guest showing on a star. And so I started experimenting with it, and I want to show you some neat results that I have. Okay, so basically the first one is just reverb and utilities, and the reason why I gotta do utilities is because after each reverb the volume goes down a little bit more. So I have these little macros here for dry wet in between each one, and actually it's really cool. If you put the dry wet in between each reverb and utility, it creates a different thing, different feel for it. Yeah. And that's just the native reverb that's in Ableton, and stacking them, whole bunch of them isn't gonna kill your computer, but you do got to think about it, and it creates these interesting textures. And after that reverb, I'm gonna go ahead and just do the Valhalla reverb. I don't have that many because the effect of the Valhalla room was so much that I don't think I needed to put so many reverbs on there, so I just did a little bit less, and we're just gonna hear what this one does. See, that's the wet right there. Turn it off. There you go. Here, let's try turning them all on and off until we get what we want. Yeah, so whenever you guys are trying to make some new patches, try stacking them. It's really cool. I've been experimenting with it. Now, here's another thing. That's just reverbs, but there's convolution reverbs as well. Convolution reverbs are reverberations are convolution reverbs are reverbs built off of mathematical equation, an algorithm of some sorts, and what they do is some of these people, what they'll do is they'll go to a room and they'll pop balloons into the room, and they'll have a frequency response back, and they'll record that and they'll put it into the thing. And so I'm going to show you a couple powerful plugins that I use for convolution reverbs. There's Melda over here. We can do Melda first. And what this is doing is if you go down here, go into the settings, and you go pick impulse responses, there's a section in here that allows you to go to your own, you know, sample folder, and then you got it. See, I got the sample itself here. Isn't that really cool? So I could do the tiled room thing, but let's sample, you know, let's put a sample of whatever's playing here back in here, you know, and this reverb is based off of this impulse response, which is this sample over here, which is really cool, and it creates a really cool effect. So obviously, I'm gonna turn these off. We're gonna do it one by one, and we're gonna do before and after. I'm gonna leave these here because it does have a tendency to overload. All right. You hear this droning sound? There's like a drone to it. There you go. Hear that? Even more of that droning. See, I'm gonna hit the wet all the way up. That's what you're hearing. And this really creates interesting layers. Nice ethereal effect. The only bad thing about this Melda convolution is I don't see a way of really editing the impulse response, you know, making the reverb, because what it's doing is it's kind of playing the entire sample. I'm playing the sample kind of quick, but it's playing the entire sample as the reverb, as the impulse response. And so it doesn't let you do that, but these two other ones do. First off, I want to tell you about this cool one that I've been messing with. It's Convology. Now this one, I like it because it's free. Second, it has like this, it has this untamed part of it. Okay, it's just a regular convolution reverb where you can use your own impulse responses. But it's by these artists and stuff, and they go out and they travel the world just recording impulse responses so they can use it into their convolution reverbs. These guys are just pure artists, and they made this plugin so they can debut, you know, their own impulse response, you know, stuff that they do. I'm gonna show you the UI for a little bit. It's not the best, but it. Okay, so I'll show you the other one that actually is $40, and it has more pleasurable audio coming out of it, and a pleasurable effect. But the audio that comes from this, you know, the effects that come from this are the sound that you get from this one will surprise you because it's a lot different, but maybe you might like that. Okay, so it has like this raw, unrefined part to it, unrefined sound to it that's really cool. Whenever you go to your impulse responses, I would say you could mess with these, have fun with these if you really want to mess with these a little bit more. Make sure this is on normalized, because if not, it's just crazy loud. What I usually just do, I just do the release, make it bigger or smaller, and I could put hold here. I don't want to put hold. I just used release on this because the reverb is kind of loud. But yeah, but this one allows you to edit, you know, the impulse response. Instead of playing the entire sample, it's playing 240 milliseconds of it. Okay. Obviously, I doubled it, so let's do it by itself. Oh, shit. There we go. See, that's the reverb. Let's add more as we go. See, at this point, it has this tubey feel to it. I love it. I really do. You can do it all the way wet. You can play with it. Now, Now, whenever we do the next one, you kind of know what I kind of mean. You'll learn what I kind of mean. This one has a more pleasurable sound, but at the same time, it like this right here. This was unpredictable, and then we kind of made this raw, cool sound with it. But this one is a little bit more predictable. All right, let's listen to it. Yeah, let's go to over here. Let's mute them all. Let's do it one by one. Has this comey effect to it. You can use this by itself. You can kind of mix it in. Okay, so now that we kind of like layered these over here, let's experiment some more. Yeah, let's just experiment with some more. So this one, I have a perk shot. Let's play it by itself. That's cool. All right. Let's do this. Let's do a reverb stack. All right, let's do the Valhalla stack. Now, I did something kind of different with these convolution reverbs over here. So, with this, I still have the synth shot. The dun 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 dun. I use that sample over here, but this is a perk shot. So what's gonna happen over here? I don't know. What's gonna happen? Doesn't that sound very color bassy right now? And by the way, quick tip: this is one method to get color bass is by taking little chord stabs like this and putting it on top of basses and stuff like that. We can even change the sample here in a little bit. Again, with that droning. Yep, this is the chord stab. Let's pick a different sample. Let's do some different samples. Let's do one shots, bass one shots. Let's do that, man. Let's see what happens there. Isn't that cool? That's the mellow over here. Yeah, and so on this one, I did something else with the convolution as well. I gotta remember, what did I do here? It was a different synth shot. I think I put the perk within itself. Let's see what happens whenever you put the perk within itself. And we don't even need these Valhallas. We're just more focused on the convolutions, right? As of right now. Kind of learned already about the reverbs, and now we're gonna learn something else. Press stop. Let's do some other cool ones. Yeah, so this is cool things that you could do with convolution reverbs. These are some cool effects, and by the way, these you got to pay attention. After each reverb, you might have to map the gain, so then you can kind of do that. Also, mess around with the mapping of the dry wet in between each reverb. It creates like some interesting effects, as well as the convolutions. But yeah, guys, check out this plugin. This plugin is awesome. Convolution. It makes these interesting tones. That the convolver is more predictable. Yes, but the KHS convolver, the kilohertz convolver, is more predictable. But this convolution one is really under refined, and it creates these interesting results. This is Street Shaman. I really hope you like it, guys. Start stacking reverbs. Let's create some awesome sounds. If you guys want to join our Discord, go to the Discord link down below. By the way, if you join the Discord, you got to go to the get roles section, fill it out, and at the end of the page, there will be an emoji that you will have to click. That's pretty much, you just say that, hey man, I read the rules, I'm not gonna be a dick. Press that thing, and then you are now in the Discord. Join our Discord. We do flipping meets, beating meets, and we do some sound design stuff as well. We share each other's samples and everything. Yeah, this is cool. This is super cool. Ooh. Yeah. Guys, like and comment if you guys want to see some more stuff like this. I have not done a sound design tutorial like this ever, so it would help me out if you guys do like this. I feel like this is a unconventional approach to your reverbs and your this is an unconventional approach to reverbs and convolutions. Other people have done this, but I'm kind of like doing it a different way. So if you guys like this and want to see some more stuff like this, let me know, and I'll definitely focus on some more abstract sound design. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, YouTube.